Hey, what up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the first That's a Shoot of 2025. With more to come coming down the week. We got a whole bunch of things this year that hopefully will happen in the world of professional wrestling, and we'll be talking about it right here on That's a Shoot. So make sure that you click the notification bell so that when I do put out That's a Shoot, it comes right directly to your phone, to your laptop, to your tablet, whatever you use. In this first edition, we're going to talk about this 3-hour Raw and Smackdown starting tonight, actually. And what I would like to see in WWE in 2025, I have 5 things I've narrowed it down to, and we'll talk about those. But let's start off with the 3-hour Raw and Smackdown. Alright, so when it was first announced last year, that Raw was going to be going to Netflix, immediately everybody wondered, well, how long it's going to be, because Raw has been 3 hours for almost a decade now, and what was going to happen to that? And then we found out that SmackDown was going to go from Fox to USA. It was never going to be 3 hours of Fox, because Fox usually has at the 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central spot. They have local news. That's one of the things about Fox that is different than other ones. ABC, CBS, NBC, their local news is 11 Eastern, 10 Central. And I'm not sure about the other time zones, but I'm sure it's something like that with like 11 or 10 their time as well. But Fox has always even had it like an hour earlier. So it was never going to be 3 hours when it goes to Fox. But I'll talk about 3-hour SmackDowns and everything like that. And then now, when the contract went up and they signed for SmackDown to be on USA, it's now 3 hours. So it's gonna be three-hour shows. And some people are like, well, Jesus Christ, 3 hours is that much more. How bad is that gonna be? Is that gonna be more, more time invested into it? You got 3 hours on SmackDown, Raw. That's 6 hours. Then if you watch NXT, that's 2 hours there. And is that? And then there are some people that also watch the stuff that AEW and TNA do and everything like that. So so much time invested into professional wrestling for a lot of people. Is that going to be like too much? Is 2 hours perfect? Well, after and it's been strange, after so many years of having 3 hours of Raw, and then the last couple months having only 2 hours of Raw, it's felt totally weird. Definitely weird. Getting 2 hours of SmackDown some season doesn't feel weird because we're accustomed to it. We're used to it. The 2-hour Raws have just been ridiculous. So, and hopefully with these 3-hour Raws, what that also means is that the double tapings and the things are, and what I'm trying to say, the recorded Raws and Smackdowns, maybe won't be as prevalent as it was first talked about. That they were gonna do more taped shows because obviously TKO wants to save money. It's not cost effective to do so many live shows, but maybe it's different. And now, it's going to be hard to tape, 3-hour shows. At least it's double tapings. Maybe if something like you tape it. They used to do it old school, where they would back in the Attitude Era. They would tape they would do a live show on Monday and then tape a show on Tuesday. And then sometimes they would even go and then tape a show on Wednesday or later on in the week, like on Friday for the week. So they did that sometimes in the Attitude Era. In the New Generation Era, they definitely did that. They would record a month's worth of shows in a week. In a week, it would be they would go live on one Monday, and then they would record another one on Tuesday, and then like a couple days later they recorded one on Thursday, and they recorded one on Friday, and then that would be a month, worth of shows, for that month. Um, so it's and that was back when Raw was an hour, on television, so on USA, so like in the 94, 95 era, something like that. So yeah, it's now 3 hours both shows, and you know I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Um, yeah, 'cause they do have a lot of talent, and they want to have a lot of those talents on those shows, and you know sometimes you just can't get you can't get everybody on the show. Even with a 3 hour show, you can't get everybody on the show. So I think this is going to help them, try to get people on the show, and I think this will be something that they will use effectively, and I think it's going to be one of the greats of great things to come in this year with Raw and Smackdown happening with 3 hours. So let's look ahead to see what we've got going on for tonight. The first 3 hours of Smackdown. Nia Jax will defend her women's championship against Naomi. And right now we've got Andrade taking on Shinsuke Nakamura in non-title action. So these are the only two matches that have been announced, and there's gonna be more. And the first 3 hour Smackdown, the first Smackdown of the new year. The things that could happen, I think, are interesting. I would like to see Chelsea Green, the new women's United States champion, in action. Last week she had a State of the Union address, and it looks like her first one's going to be Michin. Her first opponent is going to be Michin. I don't know if she needs to face Michin tonight, but I think I'm trying to think of a girl who's on SmackDown who could, or bring up one of the NXT girls. I mean, yeah, bring up Kalani Jordan or something like that. Have just to have someone in there for a body, so that you don't have to beat one of the other girls if you don't want to. But yeah, I like to see Chelsea Green in action. It's tonight gonna be the night where Tiffany Stratton cashes in. We got Nia Jax to Naomi. We doing this thing with the past month where there's been Nia Jax just been mistreating, and actually she did it from the jump. It was like from the very jump of Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton being a thing, she was mistreating her from the get go, and Tiffany just kind of been taking it, and you kind of wonder how does Tiffany Stratton's character be a babyface, and I think it's very easy. I think it's the same character, but it's just it's what it is. I love the fact she called Bayley Pam. I love that. Just from about a month ago. I found that so hilarious. Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, you gotta. I mean, this is a new day and era, but this is why back in the day, like, they called everybody by their work names. You were not. You was not Pam backstage. You were Bayley backstage. Because when you get out and you're out in the thing, you might call her Pam. That's what's so hilarious. But tonight, that would be something to be spectacular. So, and then spectacular to see Cash In finally get this working towards for Tiffany Stratton. A lot of other things could happen tonight too that I would really like to see. Get the Motor City Machine Gun Street Profits DIY stuff. Let's continue that. And yeah, there's a few other stuff. So I would like to see somebody a debut tonight. Could be interesting as well. So first 3 hours Smackdown to make it incredibly special. We'll have to wait and see. Now the big one is obviously Monday. It's on Netflix, streaming worldwide, over 300 countries, right? and we know some of the matches that we're going to see. Tribal Compact for the title of head of the table. Tribal Chief. Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. The Ula Fala on the line. You know, and this could go either way. Obviously Roman Reigns being the babyface could come back and become, the tribal chief and things like this. But Solo Sikoa might need it because he's beat Roman Reigns, and then Solo could be even more made, right? Even more made. And this also could lead to a thing because now, if you are, looking at Jacob Fatu as, want him to beat on his own, then, and if you want that, I hate you, Solo, then Solo loses, and then you can do that to Jacob. But so many things can happen here. Drew McIntyre, is on Raw, and he could, get himself involved, but so could Jay, and so could Sammy, and so could the other members of the Bloodline. So there's many ways to go here. It's going to be very interesting. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. They've kind of said that this has to end on Monday, and I think it does. I think it does for the betterment of both of their characters, both of their stories, and both of their and for some of the fan base. Some of the fan base is really tired of this story, so I'd like to see this make its way come to an end. Who do I like to see win? I have no clue. I think it all depends on what's the WrestleMania match going to be. Are you? Because to me, if you're going Bianca versus Rhea, then obviously put the title on Rhea, and that should be one of the things, right? That's one of the things that I think that I would love to see. If you're not looking at Bianca and Rhea as one of the main women's title matches, then I would say keep it on Liv Morgan. Becky Lynch is coming back. I don't know if she's coming back on Monday, but she's gonna be back in the near future. At the very latest, I think her appear would be WrestleMania. Not WrestleMania. Would be Royal Rumble. The same thing with Charlotte Flair. I think she would. She's coming back off of her injury. So again, no later than the Royal Rumble, I would think, a surprise entrance. And then people have been really touting Io Sky. They really have enjoyed her work over the past, several months. They could really go that route and have Io Sky again become the #1 contender and take on Liv Morgan. So there's a lot of ways to go here. In either direction, well, at least for Liv Morgan. But I think if you're gonna do Rhea Ripley, then she can only wrestle Bianca Belair. Yeah, Bianca Belair. Sure, you can do Charlotte Flair. They both won third times with the charm, right? You could obviously do that. And I guess you could do Becky and Rhea again. But I really think that really, if you're going to have Rhea Ripley in a title match at a WrestleMania, it's got to be against Bianca Belair. And because those two, I think, could maybe steal the whole effing show. Let's see what else we got the CM Punk Seth Rollins thing. That's going to be a main event match. So let me quickly see here what else is on. What else is happening? So we should see an appearance of John Cena. Okay, so here's something that's happening on Facebook. I'm not sure if this has been confirmed. I don't think it has been confirmed. But we've got John Cena gonna open the show for Triple H Levesque to kick off Raw. A Gunther Logan Paul segment is supposed to be there. We did get a Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso singles match here, and I really need Jey Uso to win this match, because not only has Drew been run shot over Sami Zayn, he's been run shot over Jey Uso as well, You know, I think Jey Uso's only beaten Drew McIntyre one time, and that was last year at the Raw when CM Punk kind of screwed him, and Jay pinned Drew to become the #1 contender for Damian Priest's World Heavyweight Championship. So Jay needs a win. You know, yeah, it really needs a win here as well. I would think that that's. I think it also was announced. You know, the New Day is going to take on LWO for the 7th. I think that's going to happen as well. Now that I'm going back and thinking about it, so there are definitely some matches that are going to be going on for Monday night on Netflix, and it's going to be one of the biggest things of all. We could see The Rock come back possibly, probably. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be epic. The first Raw on Netflix. It's something to be amazing. I cannot wait to see it. It's going to be amazing. So I think that's it. I think I've gotten everything I wanted to talk about on 3 hours Raw and 3 hours Smackdown. So now let's turn our attention to some of the things that happened this year in 2025 in the WWE. I think some of these things are some of the things I would want to see, and I think you may want to see as well. So I've come up with 5 things that maybe you say I want to see or I'm excited to see coming in this new year of 2025. So let's go ahead and let's start with the first thing that I'm excited to see about. It's Jade Cargill and this whodunit storyline. I'm really interested in seeing where this is going to go. Again, I'm not sure the injury, how long it's going to be, or anything like that. She put something out on social media apparently that is got some people to a stir. So I'm not sure. Right now, it looks like that the 2 primal suspects are actually Bianca Belair and Naomi. Now they could swerve us and have it go in another direction, but those are like the 2 primary suspects who's going to be each one having a reason for it, for it to be like this. Naomi, because she took the shine, she took her friend away from Bianca Belair or something like that, took the shine away, something like this from her. Bianca Belair saying that she's been she's thought like they can only be one. Like they wouldn't go there. They wouldn't say, because I don't think Bianca and Jay would do that. But it's like black girl hating. But I can only be the #1. They're gonna be only one black girl, top black girl. That's me. And I don't think they would do that. But it'll be something like that where she would not be involved in it. So, but I love a whodunit, especially in wrestling. I love those type of stories and which way to go, and how to swerve, and the swerves that could come from it. So that's something I'm really interested in seeing, and how it's going to go, and who's it going to be, and what's the story going to be behind it. So I cannot wait to see. This one is kind of a doughy one, right? Joe Hendry was in NXT, and that was good. And the partnership between WWE, NXT, and TNA, I think is a good one. And I like to see that continue. So much so that not only would I like to see Joe Hendry in the Royal Rumble, which I think that's going to happen. There was a bit on the NXT show this Tuesday where he won an award for the NXT moment of the year, where he showed up in NXT, and he accepted the award. He talked about that he could be, he could appear at any time on any show. I would like to see not only Joe Hendry in the Royal Rumble, I'd like to see Joe Hendry show up throughout this entire year. On WWE, not only in NXT but in WWE period. Why not have Joe Hendry at WrestleMania? Why not have Joe Hendry versus Austin Theory? That Joe Hendry and TNA get a victory over Austin Theory. Maybe that could finally start the breakup of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller by having Joe Hendry beat Austin Theory at WrestleMania. Why not have Joe Hendry show up as one of the participants in the King and Queen of the Ring this year if they're going to continue to do it? I would suppose that they are. Why not have him show up as one of the contestants, right? Why not have him be at SummerSlam? You know, why not be throughout the entire year again? So I would like to see more Joe Hendry in WWE. But more or less in particular, I definitely want Joe Hendry in the Royal Rumble. Can we get this man into the title picture? You know, one of the things I was worried about when they were going to do the Bloodline was that they were just going to end up putting Jimmy and Jay back together. And Usos. And listen, I'm not saying that I wouldn't want to see the Usos reunite for, you know, a night or two. I think that's awesome. But Jay Uso is so over right now. And I'm actually, to be honest with you, I'm kind of shocked that he still is as over as he is. Especially the way they kind of booked him in some places. The only reason why I kind of just said like a minute ago when I was talking about previewing the Raw on Netflix, I need Jey Uso to win against Drew McIntyre. I really do. Because I worry that the way they book him, they're going to cool him off so much that he can't be. He's not going to be the starter. Because at one point this year, I don't know if it is, but at one point, it was a few weeks ago, he was the #1 merch seller. His merch was the #1 seller, and he still gets top 3 loudest reactions when that ooh so when that hits. Everybody's still yeeting up and down and everything like that, and they've got to like hold on to this. They've got to try to get this guy, you know, going, you know, get this guy a championship. And you know, I'm not sure what exactly how they're gonna go, what they have planned for Gunther or even for Cody. But at some point this year, Jey Uso should hold either the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship. And maybe maybe it's, if it's not the Royal Rumble, maybe it's Money in the Bank. But he needs to somehow be able to, you know, hold that title and hold it for a nice chunk of change. So yeah, can we get Jey Uso the you know, a World Heavyweight Championship run, please? Can we get that? Thank you. WWE continued success. I want this to be even better. I want them to continue their streaks, continue, you know, putting their thing of how many consecutive sellouts, how many consecutive, sellouts at live events, consecutive sellouts at for TV shows or whatever. Continue to make money all across the board. Now, what I would like to see them do is, I would like to see them maybe not gouge, their fans. There's no reason that they need to do, the dynamic pricing. There's no need for, shows to be, $400 a ticket or whatever like that. You should be able to, go and get a ticket, like in the stands or whatever. Get a ticket for, you and your buddy get a ticket for, $75. That's 2 tickets. I don't see why that you wouldn't be able to do that. I think also I don't want to see them do that, but I still want them to continue success, continue to make the money that they are making. I want them to be able to still thrive. I'm hoping that the ratings from Smackdown will go up. We'll see how they do, like the Netflix stuff, how many people watches it and things like that. Because it's gonna be a different way because it's streaming. And it's gonna be like on demand, so it's not gonna be like, say, I don't know if they have a thing where they can say, like 10 million people watched, Raw, if they say that, well, okay, is that did they watch it live or did they watch it. There's some watch it on demand. There's some, and when this thing gonna go off, I don't know. But I still hope that there's still success. Raw on Netflix is a huge success. I just want them to continue to do it, and I hope that some of the other things around it, like I just talked about with the price gouging. I hope that. I hope the stuff with Vince McMahon, and I just hope everything else doesn't halt. You know, the creative. I hope that anything doesn't halt what the WWE has going right now, because the WWE is in a good place, I think, right now, and right now what it has done is that it has opened the eyes of the people who for years have been clowning on WWE and their creative and anything like that, and foolishly saying that AEW was better and things like that. They were saying that because either one, they wanted AEW to become real competition for WWE, or they were they were not WWE fans. They were these were the old school WCW fans that didn't particularly like the brand of wrestling coming from WWE. So then the AEW comes around, and now, hey, we got something new. So I don't think so. But I think now everybody pretty much majorly says that, hey, yes. I think unless you're just an idiot, says WWE is best. There isn't no competition, and even though Seth Rollins said he went on his promo that CM Punk went to the competition, they're not competition. They never have been. They never will be. Period. Not the way they do business. Not as long as people keep sticking needles in other people's cheeks, everything like that. That's not going to happen. And they keep using their big name stars into feuds no one cares about, apparently. So, but I just want to see continued success for the WWE, and hopefully nothing can derail that off into where at the end of the year we're wondering what went wrong with the WWE. So, yeah, continued success. I think it starts on Monday with the Raw Netflix stuff. And finally, this is actually maybe what I don't want to see, and that is heel turns from these three individuals. Not everybody should be a babyface. Not everybody should be a heel. Sometimes it is good to switch things up. I would continue to say that the Steve Austin heel turn in 2001 after WrestleMania was needed. It freshened his character up. Unfortunately, it also gave us the what chant, and that unfortunately has not, 23 years later, that has not, gone away. But but it was needed. It was needed for his character, and even though it may have made the downturn of the business, something like that. That's what a lot of people say. That's when the editor era actually died. Is when Austin shook Vince McMahon's hand. That's when it wasn't the fact that WCW was no longer around. It was the fact that Austin shook McMahon. That's what actually ended the Attitude Era and so a lot of things that you can talk about on there. But I still think it was good. And I still think there are sometimes that you do need to see what they can do as a heel or babyface. You never know, right? I mean, look at the New Day. This heel turn. For 10 years they started off as heels, and they were heels for about six to 8 months, but they got so over that they just fans automatically turned them babyface, and they would been babyface, for 10 years, and now their heel turn. It's been so much effective, and it's making them so, and it's done a real good job. And it's been amazing. Some people have been saying that they've been stale forever, but it's making them unstale and freshening them up. And even which even said that they couldn't evolve without E. Well, now they're evolving, and I think it's a real good story to tell. So yeah, sometimes you do need to turn heel, something to a baby face. I mentioned before, they got Austin Theory, Grayson Waller. They seemed like that they were getting ready to turn Austin Theory babyface and turn him against Grayson Waller. They kind of just taking that off the wheel, pushed that off to the side for now. But yes, maybe try Austin Theory as a babyface, see how he works. Maybe he can get over better, with the crowd than he can right now. So we'll see. However, there's been a lot of talk from fans, a lot of talk wondering about the heel turns from these three individuals. At some point will Randy Orton turn heel on Cody Rhodes to face Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship? I don't need a heel Randy Orton. No more. I don't need him anymore. At this point, he is a vested veteran. And with his back injuries and everything like that, who knows how long he does have. And I don't want his last moments in WWE ring to be as a heel. So I don't need a heel turn from Randy Orton. I think him and Cody could have a 3-match program where neither one turns heel. Both are baby faces, and both could still end up not coming out looking, bad on either side. That could happen. CM Punk, you've done so much work with trying to show, that Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre and a few others who hate Punk, Roman Reigns even, that actually Punk is in the right. Even though Drew McIntyre has some real gripes, and so does Seth Rollins has some real gripes, but they're going about it the wrong way when it comes to CM Punk. So then to just have CM Punk turn heel and just show that this is the way it goes, I don't think that's not the way you want to do it. I think CM Punk, and especially I think CM Punk should be should be a baby face for the remainder of his thing. The same thing goes for him as well. He's older. He's who knows how much longer he has, in there. At some point, I'm sure he wants to quit and then go NXT and either help Shawn or take over for Shawn in NXT, whatever that might be. But I'm sure he wants to, do that part. So I don't want to see him as a heel. And then Paul Heyman. Listen, I know some people say, especially Jim Cornette says this, that babyface managers aren't really, what can they do? They're just out there just to, they're just out there just to be out there. They don't really have anything. A heel manager is out there to to get the heat, grab some heat, help his clients get heat, things like that. But Paul Heyman has never done that in this era of being with Roman Reigns, right? He hasn't been that guy. I mean, maybe twice, right? When Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns had that match in Saudi Arabia, he threw the belt in the middle of the ring, But he hasn't really done anything, dastardly as a heel. It's always been Roman Reigns. And what he does, he's just there to serve his tribal chief. And then this picture I selected in particular because this is a picture where it says where he looked like Solo. Solo would have the black suit and the red shirt, and the red handkerchief. So this means that Paul Heyman is going to turn on Roman Reigns. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Paul Heyman turn on Roman Reigns. I don't want to see Paul Heyman turn on CM Punk. I don't want to see Paul Heyman as a heel at this point anymore, unless they go back and they turn Roman Reigns heel. And at some point, and I don't think that should be. I don't think that should be the case either. I think Roman should continue on his babyface for at least another year and a half or so. again, I don't know how much longer Roman's going to do this as well. So maybe he should stay baby face just like Randy Orton and Punk until he walks off. You know. So we'll have to see about that. But I do not want Paul Heyman on Netflix turning on Roman Reigns to go to Solo Cold. I don't want him turning on Roman Reigns, at WrestleMania against whoever he faces. I don't want to see Paul Heyman turn on CM Punk at some point. So I don't want that. So no heel turns for these three in 2025. No, I don't want to see it. That's just something that I don't want to see. I want to see babyface loving from these three guys. All right, guys. So there you have it. That's the things that I want to see this year in WWE in 2025, or including the last one I don't want to see. But also, my thoughts on Raw and Smackdown go to 3 hours, and it starts tonight. So please post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think about any of these. Give me what you'd want to see in WWE in 2025, and how your thoughts on the 3-hour Raw and Smackdown. Are you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know down in the comment section. 2025 is going to be a tremendous year, I think, for the WWE. I'm hoping that, again, like I mentioned, I hope nothing can derail it. And yeah, we'll have to see. As for this channel, I'm going to definitely try to be more consistent. Definitely with that to shoots. I think time off is wonderful. If you take a week off here, take a week off there. I think one of the things about me trying to do is, I'm not gonna try to force it. If there's something that I can talk about, on that to shoot, then I'll talk about it and I'll do it. But there's nothing that happened that week that deserves something to be talked about in a major way. Then I won't try to do it that to shoot. I'll still do like my predictions episodes. I'll still do this, still do that. But I'm not going to try to force anything this year. I think it's going to be more organic. So maybe it might not be every week where you get a that to shoot, but and that's why I'll continue to say to click the notification bell so that you will get when I do put out a video that shoot a video. You guys will come right to this. I will still continue to do all of the predictions for all of the shows and all of the reactions afterwards. I think maybe what I would try to do is I would try to do a few live watch-alongs. I think I would try to do a few of those this year. I did it the one last year for NXT. I thought that went okay. So we'll see about this year. Maybe I would do a few here and there. Some for NXT, maybe some for WWE. So we'll have to wait and see how that is. But I was maybe might do more watch-alongs this year, and we'll just have to wait and see. So, but thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there, and I am out.